This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, changing lives one daffodil at a time, the Cancer Society celebrates a quarter of a century of support. The anticipated cruise ship season is welcomed by retailers and tourist operators. And a meeting of great minds in the city shares research, ideas and some good memories. Very good evening, I'm Craig Story. The Cancer Society is celebrating a major milestone marking the 25th anniversary of Daffodil Day. The Flower fundraiser is the organisation's flagship appeal, critical for its ongoing operation, and with the generosity of locals, it's changing lives.
It's been 25 years since volunteers like these first started selling daffodils on city streets to fundraise for the Cancer Society. The annual appeal's as strong as ever, with hundreds of Otago residents taking part. June Porter Mills has been with the Cancer Society for even longer and says the donations change lives.
We are a charity, we receive no government funding at all, and so we raise all our funds from within our community in a variety of ways, and we can actually spend it back, and it allows us to give all our services free to anyone who needs them.
The Society facilitates a range of services, from gardening to counselling, for people battling serious illness. People like Trista Townsend, diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012. She went through chemotherapy and surgery and is now giving back to the Society, manning a stall to help fund the seminars and support that aided her struggle.
Also did some meditation sessions and also some counselling services, utilised the counselling services, so it's been really invaluable to my recovery really.
The message from everyone involved in the appeal is unanimous. Dig deep on Daffodil Day, with all money raised locally staying in the community. The event doesn't only impact cancer patients, it's caused a logo change and culture shift within the Society.
For many it was an opportunity to look at the daffodil and see what it meant to them, and then to actually feel more comfortable without the medical pressure put on them. They felt more open about coming to see us and spending time with us.
Porter Mills says the daffodil represents hope, and by fundraising with the flower, the Society transfers that positive symbolism to people fighting one of life's toughest battles. David DeLorean, 39 Dunedin News.
Anti-government protesters are happy with their central city demonstration, which drew heavy police presence last night. Dozens of protesters gathered outside the Savoy, where Prime Minister John Key led a National Party event. Many demonstrators rallied in opposition to the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. They hoped to confront Key on his arrival at the fundraiser, but he used a back entrance. Extra police officers were called to control the crowd, although no one was arrested. Traffic was temporarily diverted from Princess Street as protesters spilled onto the road. Earlier in the day, demonstrators shouted at Key as he visited George Street Normal School to open its new learning centre. A record cruise ship season is expected to pump millions more into the local economy. Already the sector's worth about $36 million to the city each year, and local tourism operators are preparing for an influx of extra passengers.
Discussing logistics ahead of Dunedin's biggest cruise ship season. More than 200,000 passengers and crew are expected to visit the city between October and April. That's an increase in numbers on last season and accordingly an increase in profit.
So we're looking at about 12% growth in passenger numbers, but the same number of ships, but the ships are getting bigger with a lot more people on.
It's estimated this season will boost Dunedin's economy by $40 million, and the following season's expected to be even bigger, with a record 91 ship visits and about 300,000 passengers and crew.
We're making sure that everybody knows exactly what's going on, so that then we have a seamless service for our visitors, so they're knowing the security procedures, what's happening at the eyesight, making sure they get all their paperwork filled out.
It's Barker's last cruise season. She's resigned from the council to work at the Peninsula Trust, and she's proud of how far the local sector's come, with operators settling their differences to cooperate for everyone's benefit.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a lot of relationships being built, which is great, between the attractions and the operators, so that we do get better experiences for our visitors. And I think that people know what the goal is, which is, to make Dunedin a fantastic, or the best port we would hope that visitors are coming to. So I think the industry has really come together over this.
With several cruise seasons under their belts, local tourism operators are in the swing of things, as is Port Otago and the City Council. But Barker says staff can't afford to be idle.
Complacency is that making sure that we're not thinking that we're doing a wonderful job and not working on increasing quality of the Dunedin experience all the time.
The first cruise ship's due in port on the 3rd of October. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
Dunedin Mayor Dave Cull is about to travel to China to build closer local government ties and discuss economic development. He's participating in the first mayoral forum between New Zealand and China following agreements reached last year. The forum will focus on growing tourism, education and primary industries in both countries. 10 other New Zealand mayors are involved, set to build relationships with their Chinese counterparts. Dunedin's long been a sister city to Shanghai, where Cull will also do business while in China. He will be accompanied by Enterprise Dunedin Director John Christie. And a local research symposium on brain function and memory is attracting academics from around the globe. It's allowing local tertiary students and teachers to share ideas with some of the world's top scientists, and they're highlighting the latest research in their respective fields.
Using their heads to learn more about the brain. International researchers are in Dunedin for a memory symposium at the University of Otago. An organiser, Professor Cliff Abrams, says it's a case of good timing, getting everyone together at the same time.
We have a number of prominent international researchers in the memory research field who are coming through New Zealand for various reasons, and we thought we'd get them all together here at one place because we have a very strong research program here at the University of Otago, so we thought we'd put those skills and interests together into a one-day symposium.
Abrams says it's exciting to have so many top international researchers see what's happening locally. And he says it's especially beneficial for those who work and study in the city.
Our students and our postdocs and also our faculty members can interact on a close one-on-one basis with these visitors, and they get to actually hear all the good things that we're doing. So it's a two-way communication process, and also learning about some of the hot advances in the field.
The symposium program is eclectic, covering a range of memory-related topics, including a 15-year project on the treatment for Alzheimer's disease by Professor Stephen Ferguson.
We've been trying to develop models and potential drug treatments to slow down the progression of Alzheimer's. And we have some evidence in mice to suggest that an mGluR5 antagonist might actually have some potential effectiveness.
Ferguson's research is ongoing, and he's keen to get feedback and advice from the best in the field by sharing ideas with this group.
Some of these people are more expert in the field of Alzheimer's disease than I am. I just sort of fell into it by chance, so I learned a fair bit about what they know about Alzheimer's disease and the type of research they're doing. So it gives me a better perspective on the global picture as opposed to my focused view on the receptor that I study.
Abram agrees, having overheard conversations between delegates, sharing techniques and ideas to benefit their research and in turn the masses. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we speak with a very special man about a very special event, and Dunedin's City of Literature status hauls another fine southerner off to Europe.
A lifestyler to me is a person maybe wanting to escape the hustle and bustle of a big city, wanting some animals, maybe able to grow their own veggies, have chickens, get their own hens. Lifestyle block can be your supermarket, just a good way of living, and a lot of people enjoy that rather than being in a city. A very sustainable way to live.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
She's 21 metres long with a 6.7 metre beam. She can support diving, seafloor mapping and sampling, deep water measurements, and has onboard laboratories. She has a range of 1,000 nautical miles, which means the Polaris 2 can take your studies further than you ever thought possible. My name's Will Raymond, and this is My Place in the World.
Take your place in the world.
Big Orange, for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
Hi, I'm Mike Kernahan, Chief Executive of the Cancer Society at Otago and Southland Division. On 28th of August, we celebrate 25 years of Daffodil Day. Daffodil Day helps us provide care, comfort and hope to people who have a cancer diagnosis and their families. It helps us run health promotion programs so there might be less cancer in the future, and it funds vital cancer research. So please give generously this Daffodil Day. Text HOPE to 469 to donate $3 or visit daffodilday.org.nz and help us make this Daffodil Day the biggest and best yet.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
And welcome back. Business profits are rising as indicated in the latest data from Statistics New Zealand. Total operating profit before tax has increased 7% in the last financial year. It's a rise led by the agricultural sector, and that's worth $4 billion to businesses overall. More than 70% made a profit in the last financial year. That's comparable to 2013, but profits are generally larger at present. And on that very cheery note, let's take a look at today's financial markets. A good day across, a small rise in the ASX, but the Jones, the London and the Nikkei all had very pleasant Fridays indeed. And the currencies that we observe, 64.73 to the USD, the Aussie is 90.29, very small increases, and the pound is down to 41.94. Children with special needs are about to experience Dunedin from a unique vantage point. They'll tour the city in some of the South's largest trucks during this year's Special Rigs for Special Kids event. And the founder, Greg Inch, is here. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you in the studio, Greg. This is a very special event. Would you tell us, for the people who don't know what it is, what is Special Rigs for Special Kids?
It's a chance for special needs children to get an experience, to go for a ride in a truck, get to know the driver and just experience what we experience every day.
You've been doing this how long now?
24 years.
Next year is going to be a big event. Is it big things are planned?
Yes, there's always like, I've had a lot of people talking in my ear about next year. I says, look, we'll get this year out of the road and we'll run, but there is it's going to be a big one.
So how many rigs are you anticipating this year?
We get between 180, 250 trucks. I've got no idea till the day how many trucks. We don't register. No children registration, no nothing. We just run with it.
So is this event self-organising? How does it work?
Well, we put together the venue and all the barbecue and everything like that, and all the logistics of it. There's a lot of traffic management and catering and everything, but we just put the word out to the drivers, and they come anywhere from Auckland to Invercargill, and they come. Some of them organise their own loads from Auckland to come down for the weekend. And the kids, we just put the word out with all the disability services and the schools, and we leave it up to the caregivers and the parents to nominate which kids want to come, and yeah, away we go.
What a terrifically special thing this is. How many kids are expected?
We cater for 300 special needs children, but you've got to remember we make it for the family, because inadvertently special needs children get a lot of attention. So we cater for the rest, the brothers and sisters, and if we can't fit the brothers and sisters in the truck, we've got buses that come along, take them for a ride as well. So everyone's involved. So we cater for 1,200 people in the day.
Wow. This is kind of a broad question, but what do the kids, get out of it?
There's a lot of different things. Like I had a person approach me a few years ago and says, look, it's a chance for the families to network. They come along, they network. It's an experience for the kids. They just you just see the smiles on the faces. It's just amazing. And when you see the public lining up, and everyone I speak to, the public, they say they look for the smiles. It's a day for the community to get together.
And those smiles are the currency, because you don't collect money at this time, do you?
No, we do not raise money on the day. I've been offered $30,000 for naming rights, and we turned it down. It's not about money. We won't allow anyone to put their name to it. The sponsors that get behind it are incredible. Like everywhere we go, they just give more and more. And the thing is, in today's commercial world, people look for naming rights and sponsorship and everything like that.
They want value out of it.
Dunedin just gets behind it. We get bread out of Christchurch. We get stuff off the back of trucks. But it's just amazing where it comes from, you know.
And how many people are behind this, Greg? Like you're the front man.
Yeah, there's a good committee. Like I've got a committee of 10 or 11, I think there is, and it changes, it varies, you know. But there's a lot of support that goes behind it. I get drivers ringing up, people. I had a guy ring up yesterday. I don't know him from Barrow. He says, I've got remote control trucks. He says, and these are huge trucks.
This is going to be a great event, Greg. What's the date?
30th of August. We run on a Sunday.
Special Weeks for Special Kids event. Greg Inch, thank you so very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. After the break on 39 Dunedin News, we have the results of our online poll. Does Dunedin need more visitor information? And the weather and the week that was.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all-black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special. 0800 502 402.
And 28 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders, and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL Digital Console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Discover New Zealand's most innovative museum, Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. 14 stunning galleries, 3 distinct architectural styles, and 1 million intriguing stories are yours to discover at Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. Open daily next to Dunedin Railway Station and with free admission. Toitu Otago Settlers Museum.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Hi, I'm Mike Kernahan, Chief Executive of the Cancer Society, Otago and Southern Division. On 28th of August, we celebrate 25 years of Daffodil Day. Daffodil Day helps us provide care, comfort and hope to people who have a cancer diagnosis and their families. It helps us run health promotion programs so there might be less cancer in the future, and it funds vital cancer research. So please give generously this Daffodil Day. Text HOPE to 469 to donate $3 or visit daffodilday.org.nz and help us make this Daffodil Day the biggest and best yet.
For 30 years, Southern Clams have harvested New Zealand little neck clams in the coastal waters of Otago. Hand harvesting to order at the right place and time ensures perfection of every clam you eat. New Zealand little neck clams, harvested for you by Southern Clams.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
Oh, lifestyler can be anybody. We look at a lifestyler as someone who perhaps has been a farmer and is retiring into a smaller block. It could be someone who's working here in Dunedin and has a few acres at home. It could be mum and the kids with the pony on an acre. You know, it's anyone that's got a little bit of land rather than just the quarter-acre section.
Welcome back. Dunedin's status as a UNESCO Creative City of Literature is paying dividends for one local writer. He's the first New Zealander selected for a residency in Prague, a fellow city of literature, and he hopes his success leads the way for other local authors to work internationally.
Dunedin author David Howard will soon be writing from across the globe, having just scored a 2016 writers' residency in Prague, a UNESCO Creative City of Literature. The opportunity is only afforded to writers connected to the 11 cities with that status, and Howard says the residency is a perfect fit.
I immediately thought of the work I'd already done that was set in Prague, because I have a long-standing interest going back over 2 decades, and in fact in 1991 I finished a long poem called The Carrion Flower, which is about the assassination of the Nazi Heydrich in Prague by Czech partisans.
Howard's connection to Prague is partly thanks to his working relationship with Czech composer Marta Jirikova, who scored his work. Howard plans to continue the collaboration, this time working on a series of dramatic monologues.
There's a very real connection. There's not something that I've just drummed up to look good on a piece of paper for an application. I've got a long-standing interest in this part of the world. And the literature from this part of the world, I mean, Miroslav Holub, who was one of the great poets of the 20th century, is a Czech.
He's looking forward to highlighting connections between Dunedin and Prague during his residency, and plans to use the overseas opportunity to showcase as much Dunedin talent as possible.
Part of the requirement of the residency is to do a series of public presentations. I want to profile some Dunedin writers because I'm one of several Dunedin writers who I think, could benefit from getting out there on the international stage, and I'll be very happy to read work by others.
Despite his interest in the Czech Republic, Howard knows very little of the language, something he'll work on over the next few months before his residency starts in February. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
There are renewed calls for more visitor accommodation in the city, particularly high-end hotels. Mayor Dave Cull is among those pushing for further development, although some accommodation providers disagree. So this week's 39 Dunedin News online poll asked, does Dunedin need more visitor accommodation? 65% in the affirmative, 35% said no. The City Council is working on a new bylaw for freedom campers. It allows freedom camping within restricted areas, despite concerns from some residents. So this week's 39 Dunedin News online poll asks, should we accommodate freedom campers in Dunedin? You may voice your decisions at our website dunedintv.co.nz. And now, recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Thousands of residents have donated money to the Cancer Society for its 25th annual Daffodil Day appeal. Tourism operators are gearing up for a record cruise ship season expected to generate $40 million for the city. And a brain research symposium is attracting top academics from around the world to share ideas with university staff and students. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Bruce Query, what do you have?
Good evening, Craig.
Good evening.
A task force has been set up in Dunedin to fight for the old courthouse. Tomorrow the ODT will be providing the names of some heavy hitters around the city who will be going into bat for the historic court building. In the regions, almost $1 million has been announced in funding to provide some improvements on the Alps to Ocean cycling trail. This weekend's Dunedin Heritage has plenty of attractions, and one of the most popular has been bookings for a brothel, which will be opening its doors for people to see inside a historic building. A school canteen is making more money now that it's switched over to a healthy menu. And in sport, we'll be talking to Otago rugby forward Josh Dixon, and our weekend magazine, The Mix, looks at the full impact of what happens after a fatal accident.
Always a good read, the Otago Daily Times. Bruce Query, thank you so very much. And now, let's have a look at our weather for the weekend.
This local weather report proudly brought to you in association with Silberhorn Sportsville.
Today's City View, one of the city's very fine fairways. And around the city today, the central city was 10, Gardens 11, the Tidy was 12. And our situation, this is interesting, a trough of low pressure from the Tasman drifts off to the Pacific by Sunday though, with a brief respite on Monday. However, it is short-lived, the midweek looks to be chilly. The forecast for the lower South Island hotspots for tomorrow: Invercargill, fresh southerlies, rain 11, Gore, gusty easterlies, more rain 11, Te Anau, fresh southerlies, rain of course 11, and Alexandra, light northerlies, becoming fine though 11 degrees. Queenstown and Oamaru, moderate nor'easters, some rain is expected 13, Wanaka and Twizel, light northerlies, fine probably 14 degrees. And in Dunedin tonight, cloudy, mild northerlies and 8 degrees. Tomorrow, rain in the morning, clearing by the afternoon. Winds will be dying out, cold southerlies by the evening, 11 and 3. And for Sunday, cloudy and cold southerlies. More than just a few showers across the region, high of 8 and a low of 3. And finally, to the Southern Clams tidal and fishing information. Saturday, low tide 9:37 a.m, high tide 3:14 p.m. Fishing, bad. Saturday, it's best at 11:52, and on Sunday at 12:49, but it's not good at all, I'm afraid, for fishing. And that is all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News, the good people. We will leave you now with shots from the week that was, set to music by Wishing Well. Dunedin 39 Dunedin News will return on Monday. I won't. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.